This lesson will talk about combining like terms, and this is just part 1. There are 2 other parts, part 2 and part 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into this one here. When combining like terms, you're either adding negatives or you're adding positives. Okay, so to start us off, it says negative 3x minus 1x. All right, and if we look closely, the 3x is negative and the 1x is negative, so these are same signs, which means you add them. Okay, and when we add them, that's going to give us a negative 4x as our final answer. You always keep the sign of the larger number, no matter whether you add negatives and positives, okay, or you subtract. You always have to keep the sign of the larger number. So let's take a look at number 2. Number 2 says negative 1x plus 3x. Well, once again, they're like terms because they both have x. Just like in number 1, both of those numbers had an x variable, or they were both of the x variable. That means we can combine them. So the same thing is going to happen in number 2. We take a look closely here. This is a negative 1x. This is a positive 3x. So these are different signs. So different signs we subtract, and no matter what, you always keep the sign of the larger number. So when I subtract 3 and 1, I get 2. Okay, however, the larger number is 3, so my final answer has to be positive 2x. So you can write it with the plus, the positive sign, or you can write it without the positive sign. Let's take a look at number 3. Number 3, we have a situation here. Well, let's rewrite it. We have negative 4x minus negative 8x plus 10. Subtracting a negative, which is happening right here, when you subtract a negative, that's the same as adding a positive. So really, I could rewrite this to say negative 4x plus 8x plus 10. Now I want to go ahead and combine my like terms. My like terms are negative 4x and positive 8x. So once again, these are different signs, and different signs you subtract. Okay, so when we subtract, that is going to give us 4, and the larger number is 8 and it's positive, so that's positive 4x, and that plus 10, we just bring that down, so that goes there. All right, so our final answer for number 3 is positive 4x plus 10. Let's take a look at number 4. Number 4 reads negative 5r plus 8r plus 5. Well, my like terms are negative 5r and positive 8r. These are different signs, and different signs mean to subtract, and we always keep the sign of the larger number. 8 minus 5 is 3. So that's going to give us 3r, and the reason it's going to be positive is because look at the larger number. The 8 is larger and it's positive, so it's going to be positive 3, and then we bring down that plus 5. So our final answer is positive 3r plus 5. All right, let's take a look at these last 2. So once again, we have 8y plus 1 plus negative 4y plus negative 6. All right, well, let's look at our like terms. Our like terms are positive 8y, negative 4y. Okay, those would be different signs, so we subtract, and 8y minus 4y gives me positive 4y. My other like terms are positive 1 and negative 6. Those are different signs. Once again, we subtract, and 6 minus 1 is 5. However, which number is larger? The 6, and it's a negative. So my final answer should be 4y, positive 4y minus 5. Final answer. All right. Number 6, last one. We have negative 12 minus 6p minus negative 2. All right. Once again, when you subtract a negative, that's the same as adding a positive. So we really could rewrite this to say negative 12 minus 6p plus 2. Now I look for my like terms. I only have one variable, but I have two constants. One of my constants is negative 12. My other constant is positive 2. Those are different signs. When you have different signs, you subtract the integers. So 12 minus 2 is 10. And since the 12 is larger, it's going to be negative 10. And we bring down the 6p, the positive 6p. So our final answer is 6p minus 10.